Hello everybody, this is Loki and welcome back to phoneix, right? We're continuing from where we last left off. Continuing from here. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the result of the test we had performed earlier. Tests? What tests? Yes, test on the body, the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about that. That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought the victim. So what are the results? Or was it the victim's blood, or... Due to time constraints, the full test wasn't possible, however. There's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Yeah, whose was it? I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but... the trial rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking, so let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well, please bring in the last witness. See how she does, shall we? She looks so tired and sad. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright and Kill Law Offices. Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium with the trained channeling technique. I'm frightened. The fake land, I don't want any more to do with it. Oh, Maya, the pain the faint bloodline causes must be unbearable. I feel bad for her. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise's murder. Is it correct? I
Objection!
Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But that's true. Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. That's true. She's gone already. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. Do it for her. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen the squeeze the truth out of them. That's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor. She looks so sad. I was passing through the garden on the way to the spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up touching the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me." Then something warm splashed over me. And that's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head? I suppose that must have been the staff. Maya, the person who hit you, it was Delia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Ned. I just can see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Ned, but I really couldn't. Huh. Can't say it wasn't especially a good night for a young lady to be walking around alone. That's true. It seemed that it would be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look too well at all. Yeah, she doesn't look well at all. She doesn't even look happy. She's so sad. You could see it in her eyes. She's like so sad. You think you screamed, but you're not sure? Listen, I was complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man? A woman? An adult? A child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes. I thought that person might attack me, so Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope. That sounds like poor little Maya was really out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What'd I do? Press her for more detail? Wait a minute, Maya. What is this last hope, my last hope stuff? What? What do you mean by your last hope? No. That's what you said. You said my last hope. Huh? What? I said what? Look, you were facing an attacker and you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me. Yeah. But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was their last hope. Oh, well, you know. That's like what do you call it when it happens? Maya's not doing so well up there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. What did you just say? Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming for help. What is it now? I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person? I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done? Huh. It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I will always say. A ton of pressure. You're in the court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Yeah, you're not supposed to lie in court. You're supposed to get the truth. Witness, the information you just pressed is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. I can see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. Okay. Where's the stone lantern at? Here it is.
Objection!
So there was a man standing behind your attacker? Yeah. That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Miss Elise. Otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya? You know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed a huge problem with her testimony. Huh? What do you mean, what problem? Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission. Huh, what? It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. No. There is no light. The only thing that comes off with light is Godot's mask. I bet. Order the court. Mr. Godot explained it. May never know it was him. If she saw light, may never know it's coming from his thing. He was there too. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe a latte. I don't know how to say that last. I'm just gonna call it latte. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Mr. Trite's words are the milk and you're the spoon. Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bird. I'll have you know. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness' mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Objection! Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction with the witness's last bit of testimony. Nick? May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. Ah. In other words, there would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. That's true. If she couldn't see her attacker, she would not have seen the other guy, the guy's face. Order, order, order! What in the world does that all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye actually saw the real killer in pitch black condition?
Objection!
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. Objection! There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Goto. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed our mother? There's only one conclusion I could draw for this. You know who this man is. Yeah, she knows. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Huh. You talk a good name. A good game's right, but let's see if you could walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness have seen? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't. Please, stop. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy, the man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Alright, Mr. Wright, time to show us what you got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Alright. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Condition? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all lights in this courtroom to be turned off. What? What can't be? Huh. Bingo! I got him! And that was a nice bit of deduction. Trite. Well, everyone? This is the man Maya saw the night of the murder. There we go, bingo! Order, order, order! Prosecutor Goto, what's the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Huh, Your Honor? You're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you got a question, ask the witness. It's one of my rules. Well then, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question. You're wrong. I never saw that. Maya, I thought that the person stabbed my mother was a man. It's totally for a totally different reason. What? Witness, Mr. Wright, what the?
Objection.
Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Alright. Alright then. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize until after I woke up, but... Okay, let's continue on with this. When I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place was totally changed. Torches were lit and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the snow dome lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. How would she know? So, it was after crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor, No need to apologize. It was Mr. Gatto said you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you'd be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation just described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Okay, let's see here. Have this. Alright, here we go. I had to look for it on the page here. I'll have to go back up here. The torches were lit? Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed. I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that would have been of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain from anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. Okay. Now I have to press on this. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape all around the lantern. There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they were all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. What an odd fellow indeed, the killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's only one thing I can think of. Didn't you say a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow? Yeah. The area I clapped in ended up being all splattered. In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the body, hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with the blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. That's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue, but I think this will help explain them. Okay, let's see. Press this one. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes, I think so. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something. You did? Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. What? Hiding it for you? Everyone knew that I was only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you were saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened? Yes, I'm sure of it. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor?
Objection!
The body of Elise was carried all the way to Hazuka Temple courtyard. Then the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. That's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems odd. Oh? What would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Ghetto. The message written in blood on the lantern. It was written fairly clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? That's true. Oh, you're right. Order, order, order! But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but that doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. That's true. So true. But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's all a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. It's true. Very well done, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message in writing in blood on the lantern? Didn't notice it. Prosecutor Digoto, earlier in the trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the possible, whatever remains, there must be the truth. The true. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that crime occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must have meant that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way a normal person would miss anything as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way a normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident. Who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether? I know who it is. It's Goto. He can't see red. And who would that be? It's Goto. We learned earlier that he cannot see red. Mr. Goto, This is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. See, I told you. Told you. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Gotto? This lantern was submitted as the evidence yesterday, or today. I like the court to think back at the moment it was first presented. He can't see the bloody writing on the roll, on the well thingy. You can't see the bloody writing on that. Well, why? It's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, clean as a whistle. He thought he cleaned it. Mr. Ghetto? There are certain colors you can't see. Colorblind? He's like partially colorblind. He's colorblind to red. You can't see red on the white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Trey Bien. Yeah, I remember that too. He couldn't see the red on the apron. He's colorblind, as we could see. Could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Huh. It's strange. In the black and white photo, these letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Ghetto, are you admitting it? Are you admitting you can't see red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. Oh wow, he's admitting it. So I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Goto is the murderer. But there's no going back now. So they figured out the truth. Mr. Goto, the defense at the time firmly accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise, also known as Misty Faye. It's hard to believe this may be true, however. Once again, Mr. Wright had brought up with this frightening fact about you. Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written on here. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. That's rich. Do go on, try it. The answer is right there in the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all the snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take out just the area? Ah, could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. So he couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he had removed the whole area.
Objection!
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit, he could have been able to see just fine. That's true. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Gotto? Wait just a minute. Maya? What is it, witness? Mr. Gotto isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after the old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
How do you know for sure? Maya? You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? Ah! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't. I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Delia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Maya? Do you plan to cover for Godo no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Huh. Nicely done, Wright. Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened in the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up and began channeling, my spirit left me as we were. But little Pearly was there at the inner temple too. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. Next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare perp room. That's when Mr. Godo arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearly? That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye. So when did you hear about this? Just a little while ago when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible testimony. That's true. Come on. Pearly would never tell a lie. She's always way more honest a person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best thing to say when you're under oath. Huh. The prosecution had no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godo, let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense had no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright, let's get to the cross-examination started. I have no objections to this. Two, three, 4, 5. He cheered her up? And that's what Pearly said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godo. And here I was thinking you were nothing more than the coffee addict. Huh. Cut it out and make me blush. If he really did cheer up Pearl, at least he's really good with kids. He's nice to kids. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. The truth is there ain't many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy getting over the garden and fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation on my own way. Godo style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style. Phoenix style. Yeah, now I'm gonna record videos, Loki style. You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. You find anything? It looks like my investigation went out about as well as yours, right? After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles! Funny thing, odd thing I discovered with the beauty in the China hall. Beauty? Misty Faye, naturally. clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Can you find a stranger way to describe gravy? So, from there you headed for the prep room? Wait a second. What did Goto say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of importance here. Where was Goto when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Mr. Elise. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Objection!
Mr. Goto, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went to Inner Temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made that one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll? But Mr. Goto was right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but there's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been prepared 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. I admit, gravy does smell really good. I like it on top of mashed potatoes. Did anyone else here like gravy on top of their mashed potatoes? As well. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Goto, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. That's true. Wait a minute, Nick. Yes? Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there. Ah, that's the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark, then you would guess that the picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Goto described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Oh. Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Goto, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. That's true. Can I ask you just one little thing, Wright? What is it? This whole theory of yours. It was all rested on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak into the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Goto knew about the plan. Huh? What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of the plan? Okay, let's see. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. That's true. Unsealed? Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls had found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the inner temple. And you still insist the crafty killer is me? You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden. That's right. Mr. Goto couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes. When was that? During the visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center. Yes, it could be arranged for someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godo. Order, order, order! Mr. Godo, you're under fire again. This murder can have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. True. Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink darkness as coffee. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on the conversation during the jail visit where he learned of the hidden plan for crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in a temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness? Yep, that's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me, and I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue a damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for a lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
Objection!
However, you had good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godo? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Maya? I guess you were doing your best to cover for Mr. Godo. For some reason, huh? Okay, try it. I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fate is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What is this? There's one person who lies in the very center of this whole story. That person ties you and Maya Fate together in extra... I don't know how to pronounce that last word, guys. There's a very good reason why Maya Faye's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Faye's only sister. Mia Faye. You only once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godo is a defense attorney? With your honors piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godo. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? Yep, he's Diego Armando. The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. The name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry was killed himself. Mia Faye's first time in court, a tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. Yeah, you can tell it's him because his hairstyle is the same, just different color now. I was moved by her. The way she put on her faith in her clients, that pure sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Delia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Delia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. I just remembered. 6 years ago, right in the courthouse, you were poisoned. Yep. Someone was poisoned. It's him. Even I didn't see it coming. Delia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time call it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. So he was in a coma for a long time? My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. It was terrible. Apparently it was a miracle I ever regained consciousness. Hey, at least he's alive, that's all that matters. If it was me, I would not mind my hair. If I went through the same thing as him, I would not mind my hair changing color, and I would rather not have good vision, and I would rather be alive with that instead of being gone. So it's a miracle this guy survived that. The miracle. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news waiting for me. The poor man. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my skull in hot coffee, Delia Hawthorne. Huh. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. That's sad. For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? First was you, Wright. Huh? Me? If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would never have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living? She goes by the name of Mia Fey. How you mean me? You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. So he decided to save her. Decided to help make up for it by protecting her sister. It was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in a perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That made sense? If Pearls had known about the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she would never have helped out. See, that goes to show that Goto has a heart. Like, he really cared about Mia so much that he wanted to prevent her family members, the good family members, from, like, doing something reckless. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hexagon Temple and Misty Fae. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fae. But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for 20 years. Officially, yes. What? What do you mean officially? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master Train had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Fae still wielded a great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. She was always... That's why I knew she'd do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's where your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Faye if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. So her mother died protecting her. And if I had a kid, I would have done the same thing too. Like, I would not, like, sacrifice myself but for my kid, but, like, I would still protect them at all costs. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls? Don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Delia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. That's why she was trying to distract her. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing that we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fae had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Delia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. Master trained Misty Fae's power was supreme, so that's how it went down. She channeled Delia Hawthorne so Pearl Fae wouldn't be able to. Yep, she did it to protect her family. She did it to protect the... Because she knew that Pearls was too nice to do anything bad to anybody. And she didn't want anything happening to her own daughter either. What, is it true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple, just in case you needed to be safe from Delia Hawthorne. Godo. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Try it. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. See? There... Godo is still a good guy. The background leading up to the incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say you, Mr. Godo. Well, try it. If you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt you can finish this on your own. No, Nick. Please don't. Maya, I heard the whole thing from my sister from the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godo. I can't do it. I can't testify against them. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia and me too. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. You still got to tell the truth. You still gotta be honest. Miss Faye, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. And you can't lie in court, Maya. You can't lie in court. I'm ready now, Nick. Alright, young lady. Tell us about the moment before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though. She was struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Delia collapsed and I lost consciousness. These red lights, I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden. Huh, things break right even the best theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya is telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Time to unveil everything. Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final class examination. 3, 4, 5. What do you mean by just that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream you heard, then, was it Delia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice. What? What? So then that scream came from the killer? That's got to be it. I think Delia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh? After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. Well, Mr. Wright, it seemed to make sense to me. It sounds like a reasonable deduction, I still kinda wonder. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are most certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream. Maya said she already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and staff had already been plunged into the victim. Is that right? She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, don't keep us waiting any longer, try it. There's only one thing I can think of, and that could have been used as a weapon here. Adelia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. Then what could have she used to strike back at the killer? The dagger. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck to a pine tree. Yes, the detective found it this morning and brought it to me. Delia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well.
Objection!
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all you know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
Objection!
Have you forgotten the blood was already been tested? Since we learned that wasn't the victim's blood, it must have been the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Yes, a place that no one knows about. So you're saying the blood on this dagger belonged to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Goto, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, try it. Order in the court. Is it the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the result of a scientific test. Huh. Let me ask you something, try it. Let's just say that turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I were really the killer, I could have washed the blade off and planted another person's blood on it. It can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, right? That the blood does not belong to me. Not a chance. What? In any event, it seemed to establish that the killer was wounded. Wait a minute. What's the problem? I know probably I shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in this explanation. Maya, this dagger, you said that it wounded the killer. That's right. But, if Mr. Goto had really been kept with the dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip on them, right? Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction pretty easy. What are you talking about? That's not simple at all. Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed, the police headed for the inner temple. Mr. Goto was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Ah! Order. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did the jerk take a smart pill during the last recess? Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he couldn't get any blood on him.
Objection.
That's impossible, try it. You know how Toda gets up there late at night? After a few minutes with no clothes on, you would be frozen solid. He has a point. He has a point right there. Huh. So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Favor here, she would have closed the book in his case already. If Mia Favor here. Come on, try it. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You accused Mr. Goodall of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that is one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition just as you want it. Huh. That's good. A fighter till the bitter end, right? Since there's just one piece of evidence and to prove your point, why don't we go for that unlimited penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Goodall? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You got nothing, Trite. So what I do at the time like this? It's simple. I gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you got. There's one thing I've demonstrated the previous past nomination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it's impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he hadn't been shot by a dagger, it should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say? Hidden. This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there was no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid it. The end of the line. The fun will stop, try it. Let's hear what you've got. Where's this location where the killer hidden his wound? Huh. I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I need to know is you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? Showing up. What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights are given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Goodall, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I would say this whole case is solved. I got him. So you figured it out? Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let me die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow her in her footsteps as a lawyer. I never forgive you. That's why I thought, the kiddo. But I was wrong about you. I knew it was from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me. You yourself? I was the only one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth to escape from the harshness of the reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask, threw away my true name. I can't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway. What do you mean? Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick? But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose if I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. Huh? I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into the situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. Was it really for Maya's sake? I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night in the darkness of the garden when I saw her silhouette. Part of me must have known the truth. The truth that wasn't really Delia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by pure desire to protect Maya? Or was it something else? Was it revenge against her? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could have been simply a desire of revenge? It could have been anything, and now, I don't even know anything anymore. So he doesn't really know. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off. As a true defender of the people. He realized that Phoenix is not that bad of a guy at all. In that one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Goto? I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego. I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. There it is! Thanks. Your wound. It's bleeding. Huh. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Crying? He cries red? Tears? Ever since I woke up from a coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment. You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. So he cries red? So, I'm guessing he realized his mistakes. This time, it's really all over, isn't it? Defendant? Yes, Your Honor. Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body in the crime scene is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained it to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyways. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. Apologize to me? For what? For the case 5 years ago? Of course. She took part in that too. I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own... Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning on killing me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. Huh? What do you mean? You and my sister, you only met twice. Huh? We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day. She only poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. Next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Dead Swallow was killed. No way. It just can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Delia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. Huh? It wasn't Delia? It was her, all along. I hope one day that you can forgive me, Feeny. You mean... That's right! I lied to you. For 8 months. So, he was really with her for 8 months? But why? Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get back as soon as possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance. She couldn't move about freely. So that's why you... My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. Prepared for the worst. She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you? She was always had so much to answer for, but I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. That's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle and pendant back from me in her place? But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even simple as that. 8 months had passed and I still couldn't get back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that ever happened. So she purposely got rid of someone. Up until that day, you two were partners in crime and she could confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I found out she was planning on killing you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. That means she actually cared about Phoneix, even if it meant her life. Or mine. Iris? After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. I have something to say to you, too. Yes? You really are the person I thought you were. Even after Delia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Aw. Thank you. That made her feel better. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though, right now, this one here is the greatest cup I've ever had. Don't you think so, Phoenix, right? He's drinking it too. Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of a child was to rule the murder of the victim at least. At some point, I expected to be tried for your role as accomplice in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. The charge of murder I hereby the defendant. Not guilty. Court is now adjourned. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice really served. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course, justice was served. Mia, I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I can't save Armando, the man who cared deeply for you. You were wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible. You mean, with that verdict? I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me. You accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Mia, I'm sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. I handled lots of cases and I've seen a lot of things. Along this journey, I've found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick? Maya, I guess it's just like my sister said. Mia, what'd she say? That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But, come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, Sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick. Yeah, you saved them all. How? How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked. You even saw your mother murdered. Ouch! Oh, she's back! She's here! Franziska. Still softy as always, Phoenix, right? Excellent work, right? Huh? With the address? When did you get back? Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Franziska have actually been helping me. Helping you? If these two hadn't been there from the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Wow. But where were you, Nick? I heard he fell in the river and got caught a nasty cold which forced him to sleep all day. Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Ow, ouch. Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Miss Edgeworth. And you too, but, you want these to go? I don't suppose. There's room for me in this group, is there? Oh, Larry. What's with the longer face than the usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of use to anyone, not even once. That's not true. Right, Nick? What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh. Yeah, of course. I knew it. everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No, no, no. Oh yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly wouldn't say that they lacked resemblance. You really mean it? What about you, Banzi? Did I draw you well, too? Ah! My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and it's worth something. So then you'll do it? You like you promised? You're gonna model from my next picture book? Ah! Don't get carried away! Say, don't you dare! Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls. Where should she have gone? Normally she would have been a beeline for Maya. Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. She's somewhere. Hey, Pearly. Right? You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suppose you're wondering how Maya could be so cheerful despite all that's happened? Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Francisca. That's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? Maya isn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone else who was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow! Then tell me, phoneix, right? Who is Maya Fey being strong for? I know who. Pearls. Pearl Fey. The poor kid, after all. The reason she worked so hard to follow instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother. If for the good of the Fey clan, I'm sure she believed every last word. She was doing it for Maya, and that's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she was to Maya. So she loved Maya a lot, but she didn't realize what was gonna happen. It's a cruel irony that her exuberance had led to this tragedy. Maya's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya was putting on a brave face. She's doing it for her Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again. Oh hey, so this is where you all were. Wow, looks like we got quite the bunch here. Ah! What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whippet just seemed to have a mind of its own. Wow, what's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know. Listen that. Anyway, congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight, pal. Dinner's on me. My salary should sort of kind of gone down by a teeny weeny bit, but that's alright. I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight. Ah! Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward. Detective Gumshoe? You said first-class French restaurant? You don't mean Très bien? Oh god, not Très bien! No, I knew it. We're all gonna get food poisoning. Come on, let's go get food poisoning, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, crybaby. You're invited too. Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya's taken an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what'd I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere. Huh? I bet she just went back home, that's all. I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This had never happened before. As I figured, she must have been badly hurt by this incident. she feels responsible for the tragedy has been following you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. What should I do? Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Bye, Annabelle. We'll join you guys once we find pearls. Nick, don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We'll be maybe a little late, but we'll be definitely there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I want Minister for the world. Yeah, but you're the... Ah! Very well, Phoenix. We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't. But where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that Pearl might have gone to. At this place. Hazard Temple. For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. Was this? You're all back again so soon? Sister Bikini? I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here? Pearly's here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Okay. At least they know where she is. Pearl is not here. Ah. Maya. The Hankins girl. It's clean. Someone cleaned it off. It's got to be Pearl. Ah. Mystic Maya. Pearly. Why didn't you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Aw, she cried. I swore that I would never get in trouble with the two of you ever again, because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother. That's why you came here? It's the least I can do, to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother's gone, but how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie to make me just feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason why I'm still here is at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sister, my mother, Mr. Amano, Nick, and you. Even if one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. So that's true. If you have people that's there for you, you gotta be strong for yourself and for them. That's all I can really do. Mythic Maya, I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Mythic Misty. Sipatini. Your mother, Mythic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want you to tell you what she said to me that night. After dishonoring the good name of Karen. But still, Maya's always... Your spirit was with her, that's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die. Huh. There's a rule or something that all masters are to follow is to never take the charm off until the day you die. Well, that's the master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather it was the contents. Well, that's... a photo? Ah. Mother. It's only natural for a living creature to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what a human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Aww. Even when the battle is over, the bond that connects us are severed. We always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, and Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. Well, I learned something. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone's waiting. Ah, this is the day to remember, a day that a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we overcame today. But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training, I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare a reservation for the three of you when you come back. I don't think I will want to come back. Alright, we're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mr. Maya. Oh yeah, lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing I don't get. You know, there's one thing and probably won't want to, but what is it, Nick? Reservation for training and fine and all. But why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time, you can train right alongside us. Huh? I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Huh? It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course naturally. Huh? What? It's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd be doing anything for Mr. Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice long meal next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can just say one little thing. Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. Can't wait to hear it. I'm getting goosebumps too. Well, then, here goes nothing.
Objection!
There we go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and kill it here for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button below. And subscribe for more videos to come. See you guys later. Bye guys.